Welcome back. The coronavirus pandemic taking a toll on the global economy and people across the world and a wide range of industries. My next guest runs one of the top cable companies in the country with 4,500 employees. Joining me right now is Mediacom Communications Chairman and CEO Rocco Commisso. And Rocco, thanks very much for joining us this morning. I want to get to Italy, but first let's talk about the U.S. and what you're doing at the company and how your employees have been impacted, Rocco.
Maria, good morning. Thanks for having me. As you know, we're in 22 states and gladly bring business in all our markets. And we're a critical industry. It's been so for many years. We bring the internet, television at home, your show at home. And I'm glad to say that our 4,500 employees, even though most of them are working from home, they're there to serve our customers, and I'm so proud of them because they've been through fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, floods, and so on. But they always stood up they always rose up to these situations to make sure that our service is always available. I just want to also this morning make them feel good and let you know that while there's a lot of people, 10 million people on the unemployment line, we have gone through the good and bad over all these years. September 11th, 2008 never had a layoff, and we hope to be able to do the same, with this crisis. So Mediacom is not laying off anyone, and I'm so proud to be able to announce that.
Well, I mean, look, you are a native of Italy. Your company also a fairly new owner of one of the Italian pro soccer clubs. So obviously, all that is happening has been impacting you and your businesses very much. We're looking at pictures right now of Italy. There's been a national lockdown being extended in Italy as the country's coronavirus death toll is now closing in on 14,000, Rocco. The number of cases in Italy has slowed, but officials there say that it is far too soon to make any predictions about the pandemic's path. This virus badly damaging the Italian economy as industries there have been shut down for more than a month. Rocco, what's happening right now in Italy? Can you give us a sense of where things stand in terms of the health of citizens as well as business?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're the most hit country in the world. The percentage of the cases, we're in the 9-10% level of the people that have died. So it started in the north, in the commercial centers and financial centers of Italy, and it's moved on a little bit. Thank God it hasn't gone all the way south, but like you mentioned, 14,000 people is a lot of people, and it's a huge percentage of those people that have been affected by this virus. The entire economic situation in Italy is pretty much shut down. Everyone is working from home. The north is locked down. Everything is locked down. And in Florence, the beautiful city of Florence, where I own the team, the soccer team, I got started the June of last year, and look what I find. I find that soccer is not played, and the people, my employees, the team members, they're all locked down at home to make sure that we had a lot of cases in our team, Maria. Some of whom had to be taken to the hospital affected by the virus. Mm-hmm. But thank God, things are getting slightly better. The cases that we see, are not as high, and it's a prelude to what may happen here in America. In that sense, that we're now, on the left-hand side of the curve, the steepening. Yep. And Italy, hopefully, it's at the high point of the curve, but it's been a disaster. And I just think about it, 60 doctors, besides other frontline people, have already died as a result of catching the virus and then dying from it.
Just terrible.
Yes. And it's not just the economy, but the whole medical system is in a mess, too.
Yeah. And of course, so many of us send our condolences to everybody in Italy. I think our viewers know I've been a big supporter of the Italian-American community here in the U.S., involved with Columbus Foundation and the National Italian American Foundation, you started a GoFundMe campaign to help hospitals in Italy. You raised more than 750,000 euros. That's about $800,000 so far. Tell us where that money is going, Rocco.
Well, it's going to buying all the critical. It's going to two hospital associations around Florence. It has become the largest fundraiser from the U.S. to Italy related to coronavirus. And whatever they need that they can otherwise get to the public system, right? They have a public system hospitals. They going out and buying, whether it's ventilators. Whether it's gowns, mascherine, how do you say, things you put around your face. I'm beginning to speak more Italian these days. Echograms, anything, ambulances, anything that they need, okay, to support the system in and around the city of Florence.
Okay. Rocco, thank you very much for joining us, for explaining the situation to us. I know the U.S. sends love and support to Italians everywhere. Thank you, Rocco. Rocco, Commisso, we will be watching.